Real talk for a second. Do you ever feel like your brain is just a sieve? Like, you read a page, highlighting everything, feeling super productive, and then 20 minutes later broken bar it's gone? You're staring at a blank wall, and you can't remember a single thing. It's frustrating, right? You might think, man, maybe I'm just not smart enough, or my memory is broken. But here's the truth. Your brain isn't broken, it's just untrained. You've been taught what to learn, but nobody ever taught you how to learn. Today, we are flipping the script. We're going to look at the exact methods used by top students in Japan who are famous for mastering insane amounts of information, and we're going to apply it to your life right now. Let's fix this. Step 1. The pull, don't push method. Active recall. Okay. Let's start with the biggest mistake we all make. Most of us study by just shoving information in. We read, we reread, we listen to podcasts, we highlight. It feels like work, but honestly, it's passive. It's too easy. Japanese students do the opposite. They focus on pulling information out. This is called active recall. Think of your brain like a muscle. If you just watch videos of people lifting weights, you aren't gonna get strong. You have to actually lift the weight yourself. So, stop just reading your notes, close the book, look away, ask yourself, okay, what did I just read? Force your brain to struggle a little bit to find the answer. That struggle, that uncomfortable feeling where you're trying to remember, that is literally the moment your brain is growing. If it feels easy, you aren't learning. So, quiz yourself constantly. Don't just review, test yourself. That is the secret to how to remember everything without stressing out. Step 2. The level up mindset, the Kaizen method. Next up, let's talk about a method that's famous in Japan called Kaizen. Now, usually, people think this is just for kids doing math, but the philosophy is genius for anyone. It's about being okay with starting small. We live in a world where everyone wants to go viral overnight or learn a language in a week. But that burns you out. The Kaizen way is different. It says, master the basics first. Don't try to learn 50 vocabulary words today. Learn 5, but learn those 5 so perfectly that you can say them in your sleep. Think of it like a video game. You don't jump straight to the final boss, right? You grind through level 1 until it's easy. Then level 2. If you want to become fluent in English or ace your exams, stop rushing. Repeat the simple stuff until it's automatic. Boring? Maybe a little. Effective? Absolutely. Speed is the enemy of mastery. Step 3. Beat the forgetting curve. Spaced repetition. Here is a harsh reality. Your brain is programmed to forget. It's true. If you learn something today, by tomorrow, you'll probably lose like 50% of it. That's just biology. But you can hack this. It's called spaced repetition. A lot of students cram. They study for 6 hours straight, then don't look at it for a week. That's the worst way to do it. Instead, you need to remind your brain just as it's about to forget. It looks like this. Learn a word today, review it tomorrow, then wait 3 days and review it again, then wait a week. It's like watering a plant. You don't dump a gallon of water on it once a month and hope it lives. You give it a little water consistently. This is how to study smarter, not harder. You're doing less work in the long run, but because you time it right, the memory sticks forever. Step 4. The 1% rule, Kaizen. You've probably heard of this Japanese concept called Kaizen. It's used by huge companies like Toyota, but it works for your brain, too. It means continuous improvement. Here's the vibe. Stop waiting for motivation. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings change. Discipline is a habit. Kaizen is about making tiny improvements every single day. I'm talking 1%. If you want to get smarter, don't promise yourself you'll study for 4 hours a day. You won't do it. Instead, commit to 15 minutes. But do it every single day. No excuses. The consistency compounds. After a year, you aren't just a little better, you're a completely different person. It's not about the big dramatic moments, it's about showing up on the days you don't feel like it. That's where the magic happens. Step 5. Mix it up. Interleaved practice. Okay. Raise your hand if you do block practicing. That's where you study one subject for hours, then switch to the next. Like, I'm going to do grammar for 2 hours. Turns out, That's actually not efficient. Japanese memory masters use something called interleaving. It means mixing things up. Think of it like a playlist. You don't want to listen to the same song on repeat for an hour. You want a mix. Your brain loves variety. So, study vocabulary for 20 minutes, then do a listening exercise, then maybe read a short article. Then go back to vocabulary. Why does this work? Because every time you switch topics, your brain has to reload. It has to wake up and refocus. That extra effort creates deeper connections. It keeps your brain on its toes so you don't zone out. Step 6. Make it emotional. Mnemonics. Let's be honest, facts are boring. Your brain doesn't care about dates or definitions, but you know what your brain loves? Drama, feelings, stories. If you want to lock a memory in, you have to attach an emotion to it. This is where mnemonics come in, but we're going to spice them up. Japanese students often turn dry facts into weird, funny, or even sad mental images. For example, if you're trying to remember the word resilient, don't just read the definition. Imagine a rubber band man bouncing back from a punch. Make it a cartoon in your head. Make it funny. If it makes you laugh or cringe, you will remember it. Your brain prioritizes memories that have feelings attached to them. So, don't be afraid to be a little weird with your studying. The weirder, the better. Step 7. Marie Kondo your brain. The bento box method. You know those Japanese bento boxes? The lunch boxes where everything has its own little compartment? The rice is here, the veggies are there, nothing touches. You need to do that with your studying. A cluttered brain is a forgetful brain. If you're trying to learn English while checking text messages, listening to loud music, and worrying about your job, you aren't going to remember anything. Organize your brain like a bento box. When it's time to learn new words, focus only on that. Put it in its own mental box. When it's time to review, just review. Don't multitask. Japanese culture values order and cleanliness, and that applies to the mind, too. Create a clean, quiet space literally and mentally for each topic. When you know where the info is stored, it's easier to find it later. Step 8. The power of lists. Su relates to numbers. Our brains love structure. They love lists. There's a reason why top 10 videos are so popular. When you're trying to learn a big, complex topic, don't try to memorize it as a big blob of text. Break it down into numbers. Ask yourself, what are the 3 main points here? Or what are the 5 steps to this process? If you tell your brain, I need to remember these 3 things, your brain will actively look for 3 things. It creates a container. If you just try to remember the chapter, your brain gets overwhelmed. Count it out. Structure gives you confidence, and when you're confident, you remember better. Step 9. Mental movies. Kanji coding. In Japan, they use kanji, those complex characters borrowed from Chinese. To remember them, students often break them down into pictures. They create a visual story for the character. You can do this for anything. We are visual creatures. We remembered faces and places long before we invented writing. So, stop trying to memorize words as just letters on a page. Turn them into mental movies. If you're learning a history fact, close your eyes and direct a mini movie scene about it. If you're learning a business concept, picture it happening in your office. Visualize it. If you can see it, you can keep it. Don't just be a recorder, be a director. Step 10. The grittiness factor, the 1000 times rule. And finally, we have to talk about mindset. There is a Japanese spirit of resilience that is just unmatched. It's the idea that if I don't get it today, I'll try again tomorrow, and the next day, even if I have to repeat it 1000 times. This is where most people fail. You try to learn something, you forget it, and you say, I'm bad at this. No, you're not bad at it. You just haven't repeated it enough. Adopt the 1000 times mentality. Not that you literally have to write it 1000 times in one sitting, but that you are willing to keep showing up until it sticks. It takes the pressure off. You stop beating yourself up for forgetting and start seeing repetition as part of the training. Be relentless. The only difference between a master and a beginner is that the master has failed more times than the beginner has even tried. So, Look, you have the tools now. You know that it's not about being born a genius. It's about active recall, spaced repetition, keeping it organized, and just not giving up. You can literally rewire your brain. You can learn that language, pass that test, and crush that interview. You just have to train like a pro. I want you to pick just one of these techniques to start with today. Maybe it's the active recall, closing the book and testing yourself. Maybe it's the Kaizen 1% rule. Whatever it is, start now. And hey, if you found this helpful and you're serious about upgrading your life and your skills, do me a huge favor, hit that like button. It really helps the video reach more people who need to hear this. And make sure you subscribe to my channel, Learn English with Jennifer. I'm posting videos every week to help you speak confidently, learn faster, and just become a smarter version of yourself. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Remember, your memory is a muscle. Go train it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.